honourable member for Peace River is rising to ask a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Between 2009 and 2016 across the country, there were 1,100 incidences of human trafficking reported. Human trafficking has been on the rise across the country since 2010. 95% of those victims have been women, and 70% of those women have been under the age of 25. Human trafficking is a growing evil in our society, and one this government promised to take seriously during our election campaign. To the Minister of Justice, what is this government doing to combat human trafficking in Alberta and defend these young women?
The Honourable Minister of Justice and the Solicitor General.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We'll be acting by launching the Alberta Action Plan to combat human trafficking, a 9-point plan that will take immediate steps to establish a task force that will ensure government and partners work collaboratively, increase education for at-risk individuals and public awareness, and create legislation consistent with the Saving the Girl Next Door Act.
Member for Peace River.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to the Minister for answering. Given that human trafficking disproportionately affects the vulnerable population of young girls, and given that our party made a campaign promise to protect these young girls, and given, Mr. Speaker, that these commitments include adoption of the Palermo Protocol for the definition of human trafficking and an eventual task force to deal with human trafficking, to the Minister of Justice, what steps are being taken today to crack down on those convicted of this heinous crime?
The Minister of Justice.
Mr. Speaker, we're dedicated to making sure that we lobby the federal government to amend the sentencing guidelines related to exploitation to add the offence of trafficking in persons to the list of offences to which the forfeiture of proceeds of crime apply. We're also going to advocate to provide consecutive sentences for offences related to trafficking in persons and also create a legislative tort so victims can sue their abusers.
The Honourable Member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and to the Minister. Given that human trafficking victims face horrible conditions and suffer often from mental, physical, and sexual abuse and concerns, and given that human trafficking is a scourge that degrades women and young girls far too frequently in our society across the country, and given that this government made multiple campaign promises to support the victims of human trafficking, what is this government doing to ensure that these vulnerable victims and not the criminals themselves have the support that they need?
Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, thank you to the honourable member for that thoughtful question. Victims and survivors need to know that their government stands with them, hears them, and will provide the tools and resources necessary to support them. In the budget, we committed $6 million to fund a 24-hour hotline to support survivors of sexual assault and sexual violence. We're also committed to providing additional resources to sexual assault service centres that provide counselling, support, and advocacy for those in need.